So you're going to get your setup. Okay.
Square the line.
Okay.
Bend my waist and just a little bit from the hips.
Okay.
And keep good posture. Get up to the top.
Okay.
Drop it down to here.
All right. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now, okay, the worst picture in the history of golf relative to us understanding golf and being able to duplicate it is this picture right here that we all saw, this picture.
Right.
It's not that the picture is necessarily wrong. Here's what's wrong with it. That picture, that position, is an effect of multiple other things happening. So when I saw you make that practice swing, I mean, honestly, when I see somebody make a practice swing like that, that's a pretty good player, I want to walk up to him and say one of two things. First would be, hey, I'm just about through teaching. You want to go play this afternoon because you got not a chance in hell of getting that thing to where the ball doesn't go sideways.
Right.
Or I want to come over and say, okay, I understand what you're trying to do because we were all brainwashed into what you were doing. The reality is it happens, but you're not trying to do it. It happens because of multiple other things that you would never in a million years think that's what's going to make it happen.
Just one clarification. I'm not trying to talk over it.
No, that's perfect.
Understand that my thought is not to get it to here. My thought is to go down first.
I know.
Okay.
And again, with most people, we heard the terms pull down. We heard the terms hold the angle. But the way we end up pulling down and holding the angle can do from there. Once you go here, the club is so far behind what you want to do. Now, yeah, you don't have any, you've maintained the angle in your wrist, but the momentum of the club is so out of sync that then what you learn to do from there is you learn to kind of flip it. And catch it up. All right, which is exactly what you're doing. So the reality of this thing is the guys who now know what they're doing, when you watch them make a practice swing, if you see somebody going like this and they're working the club like this, you don't want to play that guy. If you see somebody making a practice swing like this, you play them for everything that they can get their hands on. Now, you can play that way. I did. We all have. But the problem is, when you do that and you pull the handle this way and the club does this, relative to the momentum, the arc that the club head needs to be into for everything to sink out, you've pulled it out of its arc relative to your hands. So now all you have left here is a catch-up. Well, if you hit enough balls, you practice a lot, and your timing's really good, you can kind of get away with that. But what happens if you're not playing a lot, or even if you are, and all of a sudden you get a little quick and you don't catch one up, it's over there. And so then the next one, you panic a little bit and you give it a little X and then you hit the low duck hook, all right? So watching your practice swing relative to what you're telling me you want to do, if we get you to understand what you're actually trying to do, it's going to get so much easier, it's a joke. Because right now you've made it to where what has to happen is when you get right in here, and which you've duplicated, you actually duplicate what your practice swing did. You get all the way to right here, but then your body kind of has to stop and you flip the club and everything goes up and out here because that's where the momentum of the club is taking you. Now what's interesting is I see a lot of these guys trying to fix what you're doing by saying, well, you've got to get the handle to go more left. Well, if you're here trying to make the handle go left, now you're really no good.
Yeah, exactly.
On the backswing, if I put a tee right here, and I'm going to put another one right here, as it'll be on that line, it'll be about the same distance over here. Okay, here's the goal, set up to the ball. Here's the goal, the handle of the club. Okay, that tee is on a line right directly below this handle. So when you go back, the goal is, we're going to call that a corner, all right? So you go back, the handle's got to get right over that tee.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, here's the tour. Now, some of them take it this way. Some of them take it this way. Ray Floyd and Nancy Lopez took it that way. But the handle is over that tee.
Okay.
Okay? You go this way.
Right.
Okay? So we got to get the handle to hit the tee. The club goes up to the top. And then when you come down, that handle's got to go right at that tee.
Okay.
Now as the handle comes down at the tee, the club, the heel of the club is working out in front of you like this. The heel of the club, relax your hands. The heel, there you go. Has nothing to do with unhinging your wrists. You're working the heel of the club out like that. Now if we get the club right here, you can go at it as hard as you want to go over this way and you can't hit a full hook.
Okay.
It's impossible.
Because I feel if I do that, I
Okay.
mean, obviously I'm thinking it's this, but it's not. If I do that, it feels like I'm over it.
Well, here's what you want to be. The strongest shot you can hit in golf is over the top, right? You hit it, it just feels great, but it goes terrible. So your goal is to get the club, to get your hands and the club head coming, or the grip end coming down here enough that you can get the club head coming over the top of your hands, but it's still coming from inside the target line into the ball.
Okay.
So I call it over the top from the inside.
Got it. Okay.
So over the top is the night. That's where when these guys start talking about covering it,
That's
that's what they're talking about.
I know the feeling. I can't get it, but I know.
Well,
you
can't get it because you're out here too much.
Right.
So if you get out here and you try to cover it, you're going to hit it over there.
Right.
So we got to get you to make a backswing where you hit that tee and then your hands come right there and then you turn it into the ball. Okay?
Okay.
So I want you to look at that tee and I want you to make me a practice swing where you take the club, handle hits the tee, comes back down on the tee, then the club levels out, it goes right around in front of, there you go, and it goes around to the left. There's your golf swing.